Your voice, your opinion, your community. Fact TV, free speech, protected.
Patch. Have you ever been to a pumpkin patch before? No? Oh, well, do you know what they have at a pumpkin patch?
Pumpkins.
Pumpkins, of course, pumpkins. They wouldn't have tomatoes, right? No. Oh, hello there. Welcome to Grandma Kitty's house, and I'm Grandma Kitty, of course. My grandson and I were just talking about pumpkins at the pumpkin patch. Yeah, when my kids were little, I used to take them to the pumpkin patch and let them pick out their own pumpkins. And I don't know. They would give us a tractor ride down to the pumpkin patch, and we would find just the perfect pumpkin. But I don't know if they even do that anymore. Where do you get your pumpkin now? From me? Oh, well, sometimes the farm stand, right? And sometimes your mom buys them at the grocery store, right? Yeah. So yeah. But I have a book about pumpkins, and it's about picking out a pumpkin. Oh, just what we were talking about. Pick a pumpkin, Mrs. Millie. This is by Judy Cox, illustrated by Joe Matthew. Would you like to read that together? Here, I'll read it to you. I bet this is going to be a fun story. You see how silly this Mrs. Millie is. Mrs. Millie, our teacher, is really silly. Good morning, class, she says. It's mice to see you. It's nice to see you too, Mrs. Millie, we say. See, there's mice around because she said mice instead of nice. Today, we are going to the pumpkin pets, Mrs. Millie tells us. Don't be silly, Mrs. Millie. You mean the pumpkin patch. We'll pick pumpkins for our harvest party and bring them yak to school. No, we shall. You mean back to school. Here they are riding a yak. Huh? She is silly, isn't she? We line up to get on the bus. It's cold today, Mrs. Millie says. Don't forget your jackals. Don't you mean our jackets, we ask, giggling. See, they got jackals on like shawls over their shoulders.
What's a jackal? What's a jackal?
It's an animal. Looks kind of like a wolf. At the farm, Farmer Don greets us at the gate. We'll go on a hayride, Mrs. Millie says. Everybody on the dragon. What do you think she means? Wagon, right? Don't be silly, Mrs. Millie. You mean the wagon. The hayride takes us down the road. Look, calls Mrs. Millie, a hare crow. We know what you mean. A scarecrow, we tell her. See, it looks like a bunny because a hare is another word for bunny.
I can't see myself.
Oh, yeah. We climb off the wagon and run into the field. Be sure to pick a pig one, calls Mrs. Millie. Mrs. Millie, you mean a big one. We wade through the muddy field. Look for round orange pumas, calls Mrs. Millie. Pumpkins, we shout. See, the pumpkins are shaped like pumas. After everyone has found a pumpkin, we load them onto the wagon. Now we will visit the barn, Mrs. Millie says. You can be the animals. Don't be silly, Mrs. Millie. You mean see the animals. She's pretty silly, isn't she? We feed the horses. We toss grain to the chickens. Mrs. Millie takes a picture of the pigs. Time to pet the boats, she says, smiling. What's she talking about?
The goat.
The goats.
The goat boats.
Silly, Mrs. Millie. You mean the goats. Mrs. Millie pets a Billy.
The goat boats.
Yeah, they look like boats, don't they? Let's help Farmer Don snake the leaves, says Mrs. Millie. You're so silly, we cry. You mean rake the leaves. We jump into the leaf pile. I spy a corn maze, says Mrs. Millie, who wants to play hide and seek. Hide and seek, Mrs. Millie, we yell.
He's cheating.
Oh, yeah. Climbing up a ladder to
How
poop.
does standing up?
Huh?
How's it standing up on corn?
Oh, it's just a picture. It really wouldn't. Ready for some hot apple spider? Asked Mrs. Millie. You mean apple cider, we say. How can you be so silly? Finally, it's time to leave. We'll take our pumpkins back to Mule, says Mrs. Millie. We know what you mean. Back to school, we shout. We can carve them into gecko-lanterns. Silly Mrs. Millie, you mean jack-o'-lanterns, we tell her.
Can I read the last page?
Yeah. Wasn't the pumpkin patch fun, Mrs. Millie says as we line up for the bus. Yes, Mrs. Millie, we had fun, we shout. Farmer Don loads our pumpkins onto the bus. Thank you, we tell him. Okay, you read the last page.
As the bus pulls away, we wave goodbye to Farmer Dan and his Billy Goats.
And his Billy Boats. They're really Billy Goats.
I said Billy Goats.
Yeah, so that was a funny story, huh? Yeah, not yet. So she was pretty silly, wasn't she, mixing up all her words like that? You know, she did it on purpose, but you know, sometimes I mix up my words and I don't even mean to do it. It happens when you get old. Sometimes your brain and your tongue don't always communicate well with each other. So today, for our life lesson, guess what I thought we could talk about?
Pumpkin.
Pumpkins!
Me.
Yes, you're a pumpkin. Yeah, that's my nickname for him. He's my little pumpkin. So, do you think that pumpkins are a fruit or a vegetable?
Vegetable.
Vegetable. Now, that is what I would have guessed too, but
That's
you
a
know
fruit.
what? They're actually a fruit. Yes, they are actually a fruit. So you think about it, you make pie with pumpkin, right? Just like you make pie with blueberries and strawberries and blackberries, and they're a fruit. Oh, did you know that pumpkins could actually be considered a berry? Did you know that? Because a berry is a simple fruit with lots of seeds. Yes, and pumpkins they have lots of seeds,
But
right?
this one doesn't.
But can you imagine picking a basket full of these berries? They're big and heavy, aren't they?
But that one doesn't have seeds.
No, this one is not heavy
Or
and
this
it doesn't
one.
have seeds.
Or this one.
All right, so do you think eating pumpkin is good for you?
Yes.
It is. It's very good for you. A pumpkin is a very healthy food to eat. Low in calories, rich in vitamins
No
and
sugar.
minerals and antioxidants. So it's good for your immune system, your heart, your skin, your eyes. Yeah, so pumpkin is very good for you. Oh, even good for your brain. So sounds like we should eat some pumpkin, huh?
Can we?
Yeah, well, maybe in a little bit, but not right now. So do you know what happens when you eat too much pumpkin?
You might turn into one.
You turn into a pumpkin, yeah. Yeah, your skin can actually start to turn orange. Yeah,
It can?
It can, yeah, if you eat too much. I think you would have to eat a lot of pumpkin before it would start to turn orange, though. So what's your favorite thing to do with pumpkins?
Carve it.
Carve them, yes, make jack-o'-lanterns, yeah. Do you know why we carve jack-o'-lanterns at Halloween?
Is it scary?
It's scary, yeah. Well, I didn't know, so I thought I'd do a little bit of research. And you know what I found out? I still don't know. I don't really know why we carve jack-o'-lanterns. It started in Great Britain.
Because it's a tourist.
Well, because I did learn a little bit.
Tradition?
It is a tradition, yep. The immigrants from Ireland, Scotland, and England brought the tradition to America. And it dates back to the 1660s, which is a very long time ago, isn't it? Yeah. There's an Irish folktale about a man named Jack, but it's kind of a scary story. Do you like scary stories? You do? I don't like scary stories, not even at Halloween time, no. You know what I like about Halloween? I like the trick-or-treating and the candy, yep, and carving the jack-o'-lanterns and the Halloween parties, but I don't really like the scary stuff, no. But if you want to know more about this Irish folk tale and this man named Jack, you can look it up. Yeah, so the people in Great Britain, they didn't carve just pumpkins. Do you know what else they carved? They would carve turnips or beets.
Onions?
Potatoes. I don't know if you can carve an onion, but potatoes, anything that was big enough that you could carve a face into it.
Lettuce.
I don't know if you could carve lettuce, but I don't know how you could really even carve a potato. But you know, they would set them on their windowsills to keep the bad spirits out. So I think that they thought it would scare Jack away, and that's why they carved them and put them on their windowsill. Have you ever heard of the Pumpkin Festival down in Keene? You went to that once when you were little, yeah. You know, they set the record for having the most lit jack-o'-lanterns in one place. Do you know how many they had?
2,000?
Ooh, a lot more than that.
10,000.
Over 30,000. That's a lot, isn't it? And then they broke their own record about 8 times. But people would carve messages. Sometimes men would carve, will you marry me, and their girlfriend's name, and then they'd line them up. And so they'd bring her over so that she could find it and read, will you marry me, Jessica. Oh, I guess they didn't know that jack-o'-lanterns were meant to scare people away. So maybe they didn't really want to get married and they would try to scare her away, do you think? All right, check.
And one of them they would do
It'd be W-I-L-L, yep, and spell it all out. All right, grab my bag down there and let's see what we have. There are things that you need to carve jack-o'-lanterns. Yep. So let's see what we have in here. Oh, this, yes, I've got that. You need a spoon to scoop it out. You need a knife. This is a good knife because it's not sharp, but it's sharp enough to cut the pumpkin.
Okay.
So you need that. Well, we're not going to do it right now. You need a marker to draw the face, right? A good rugged spoon to scoop it out because it's pretty slippery and slimy stuff in there.
And it comes with a spoon.
The guts are really gross.
It comes with a spoon.
And then, yeah. And then you need something to light it. We used to cut holes in the back and then put the flashlight in there. Don't flash the flashlight around. Or you could use little candles.
Or it could have battery power.
Yeah, there are some that are battery powered too that you could use. Yeah, so okay. Now let's talk about what can you make. You know, after Halloween, you know what I do with my pumpkin? I eat it. So you can't let your pumpkin, your jack-o'-lantern get moldy because you don't want to eat a moldy jack-o'-lantern. That is just plain gross. But I actually cut mine up and cook it and eat it. So let's talk about some of the things we can make. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Oh, hold it right up. Pumpkin bread. I love pumpkin bread. I used to make this all the time with my kids. Do you know what you can put in pumpkin bread? Well, first of all,
nuts.
You can make anything with pumpkin.
Seeds. Cinnamon.
Cinnamon. Yeah, you can make anything with pumpkin. Just put spices in. Allspice and ginger and cloves and nutmeg too. No, spices. You're going to put spices in. But pumpkin bread, you can put chocolate chips or raisins or nuts. Okay, what else have you got there? Pumpkin pie. Thanksgiving dinner is just not complete without pumpkin pie, is it?
I have never had a pumpkin cookie.
Pumpkin cookies? You haven't had pumpkin cookies? Oh, I used to make these all the time with my kids too. These are really good.
Can you make some?
And they're very soft. And you can do the same thing. You can put chocolate chips in there or raisins or even oatmeal.
Pumpkin cake.
Oh, pumpkin cake. I love pumpkin cake. You put cream cheese frosting on it. Oh, I'm getting hungry talking about all this good food.
Pumpkin muffins.
Pumpkin muffins. Yes, those are good. Oh, now this is an interesting one.
Pumpkin soup.
Have you ever had pumpkin soup before? I have never heard of pumpkin soup. What do you think it tastes like? Pumpkin.
Pumpkin mac and cheese.
Oh, look at this one. Pumpkin mac and cheese. Who ever heard of it? That sounds pretty interesting, huh? Pumpkin cannolis. Those sound pretty good. What else? Pumpkin latte. I have no idea how you'd make a pumpkin latte.
That coffee.
But, yeah.
Pumpkin Pop Tart.
Oh, pumpkin Pop
They
Tart.
make them all the time.
Oh, well, that sounds good. I'd like to try a pumpkin Pop Tart. Oh, okay. Pumpkin, what's that? Whoopie Pie. I have seen pumpkin Whoopie Pies before, but I've never tried one. You know, it's kind of like a giant cookie, but it's kind of like made with cake with cream in the middle. You've never had a Whoopie Pie? Oh, we'll have to make some.
Pumpkin cheesecake.
Pumpkin cheesecake. Pumpkin cheesecake is good too.
Pumpkin French toast.
Oh, this sounds delicious. Pumpkin French toast. Now, how would you ever make pumpkin French toast?
And last but not least, roasted pumpkin seeds.
Roasted pumpkin seeds. Oh, yes. So when you're cleaning out your pumpkin, make sure you save your seeds. Just spread them out on a cookie sheet, sprinkle them with salt, and pop them in the oven just long enough to roast them so they dry out. Makes a very good snack, but you do not want to eat too many all at once because it will upset your stomach.
Can you make some tonight?
So what? Roasted pumpkin seeds?
Yeah.
Oh,
I want some.
well, I don't know if we'll have time to cut the jack-o'-lantern up, but
Let's do it.
we can try it. All right, so
Good
I
try.
think we have talked about pumpkins long enough. Let's move on to move and groove. So since Halloween is a fun and crazy holiday, I thought we could do the crazy song today. Have you ever done the crazy song with me? No? You're looking at me like I'm crazy. So let's do the crazy song. So hop up off that couch and join us because you want to make your heart beat. Remember, your heart was made to beat. And when you get up and move and groove and make it beat, oh, your heart is just so happy. All right, let's see what we have here. Okay, push this one right here. All right.
Is this the clapping one?
Oh, gotta turn it up. Come on, clap your hands. Clap your hands. Here we go. That's it. Yeah, we're all in this together and we're having fun. We're here to spread the love of God to everyone. Gonna get a little crazy and a little wild. Here we go now. Come give it a try. Move it to the left now. Move it to the right. Find someone you don't know. Give them a high five. Stomp your feet louder. Yeah, you guys are doing awesome. Wave your hands up high. Come on. Find somebody else now. Give them a high five. Let's go. Oh, 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 we're all in this together and we're having fun. We're here to spread the love of God to everyone. Gonna get a little crazy and a little wild. Here we go now, come give it a try. Move it to the left now. Move it to the right.
I disappeared.
Find someone you don't know. Give them a high five. You guys are moving great. Stomp your feet louder. Wave your hands up high. Find somebody else now. Give them a high five. Oh, 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 one more time. Move it to the left now. Move it to the right. Find someone you don't know. Give them a high five. Stomp your feet louder. Wave your hands up high. Find somebody else now. Give them a high five. Oh, 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 all right.
I disappeared.
You are pretty rough on those high fives. All right, come on over. We gotta move on to the bee basket. So grab the bee basket down there. You've got the bee basket. So let's see what we have.
I'm not a bee. We should buy Uncle Bee.
Oh yeah, we should have. Okay, so here's our bee basket. And remember that our bee basket
That's a
are
wasp.
the things we want to be. No, I actually bought this at the bee store. Did you know there's a bee store?
Where?
Yeah. Brattleboro.
Here we go.
So, okay, what's this one say?
Be fun.
Be fun. Oh, I like to have fun. Don't you like to have fun? Yeah, it's fun to have fun, right? I guess that just makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah. Do you know what fun means? Do you know what fun means? It means humorous, amusing, enjoyable. What do you think of when you hear amusing? You know what I think of?
Fun.
An amusement park. Amusement parks are fun, aren't they? With all the rides and
Have I ever
stuff.
been?
I don't know. Maybe you've never been to an amusement park. That's why you don't know how fun it is. But so, how do you be fun? Did you ever think about how to be fun?
You be a bee.
To be a bee? Well, I think to be fun, you have to have a good attitude. Don't you think so? I've got some examples for you. So say you invite your friend to go to the playground and you want to have a good time, and you get up there and all your friend does is complain. They complain because they're tired and they're cold and they want to go home. And oh, would that be a fun time?
Nope. That'll be
No. No, your friend's bad attitude would ruin it, right? It would spoil your time together and neither one of you would have fun. All right, how about if you're around somebody that frowns all the time?
Nope.
And they look grumpy and miserable. Would that be fun?
My mom.
What if you were around somebody all the time that looked grumpy and wanted to bite your head off?
Micah.
That would not be fun, would it?
Micah.
You wouldn't want to hang out with someone like that,
My
right?
brother.
You probably would want to run away and stay away from them. How about someone who just wants to sit around the house all the time and stare at the walls? I wouldn't want to stare at my walls because I've got some cobwebs I've got to take care of. But yeah, do you think that would be fun to hang out with somebody who just likes to sit around and do nothing all day? That would be pretty boring, wouldn't it? Yeah, yeah. Do you know what the opposite of fun is? Boring, miserable. Like someone who teases you all the time would not be fun to hang out with. Somebody who yells a lot would not be fun to hang out with you. So to be a fun person, to be a fun person, you have to be friendly, right? You have to talk nice to people and maybe compliment them or tell a silly joke or talk about funny things, yeah? And don't criticize or make fun of them. You know, I think to be a good friend, you have to, to have a good friend, you have to be a good friend, right? Yeah? You know what? You have to be lighthearted and fun and treat each other with respect. It kind of goes back to the golden rule, don't you think? Where you treat others the way you want to be treated, right? Yeah. So before we go, I've got some faces here. We worked really hard on these faces, so let's show everybody our fun jack-o'-lantern faces, all right? And then we'll have to finish up. All right. Yeah, I did that one. That's a happy face. That's what I like. I like happy, fun jack-o'-lanterns. Okay, Malachi did this one. This one is kind of a scary face.
With a cat.
Yeah, with a cat on it, black cat. Oh, look at this guy. He looks kind of scary too, doesn't he?
Or mad happy.
Yeah. How about this one? He looks kind of angry, doesn't he? Yeah.
Or evilish.
And yeah,
this
one. That one, Malachi colored that one. That one's a fun one. And look at this one. This one kind of looks like he's scared of himself. And then this one has a witch on it. So when you make jack-o'-lanterns, you don't always have to make a face, right? You could do a witch or a cat or a bat or a ghost or something. Yeah, anything you want.
A butterfly.
So you know what? I think that we are just about out of time.
Let's carve a pumpkin.
So we're not going to have time to carve pumpkins. We'll have to do that a little bit later. But I do hope that you have a lot of fun this Halloween. I hope that you get to pick out the perfect pumpkin and that you have fun carving your jack-o'-lantern, yes, and that you get to go trick-or-treating and get lots of candy, right? Yeah, enjoy your fun time. Yeah, get a spoon and a knife for your carving, yeah. And now if you get a lot of candy, make sure that you don't eat it all at once, right? Because what would happen if you ate all your candy at once?
No teeth.
Oh yeah, it would rot your teeth out. Oh yeah, but it would also upset your stomach. Yeah, too much candy at one time is not good.
You can never have too much vegetables.
You can never have too many vegetables. Yeah, you can even eat your pumpkin.
I love fruits.
After you're done carving your jack-o'-lantern after Halloween.
Eat your fruits.
Eat your pumpkin. Yeah, roast it with some butter or make a pumpkin pie out of it. Yeah, yeah. So with your candy, make sure that you save some for the next day and the next day.
Save some for your brothers
and the day
sisters.
After. Oh yeah, and share it with your brothers and sisters. Space it out and don't eat it all at once. Yeah, and don't forget to eat your pumpkin. Yeah, because Grandma Kitty's gonna eat the pumpkin too.
But make sure it's not styrofoam.
Make sure it's not styrofoam. No, because that wouldn't taste very good. Plus, there's no seeds in the styrofoam one. No,
just white stuff.
So, all right, well, thank you for joining us today. I hope that you have a wonderful Halloween and be fun with your friends and have a fun time.
Eat your vegetables and fruit, kids.
Eat your vegetables. Okay, let's say goodbye to our friends. So you take care, you stay healthy, safe, and happy, and we'll see you again next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.